Guys, welcome back. Today I want to show you how to make the middle of your door jamb so that it ends up being like this. Alright, the very first thing you want to do is find the size of the wood that is going to be the thickness that you're going to need to fit in between your door. Okay, and then once you do that, you may have to actually thin it down if you can't find any. You're going to mark right at the top, just like that. And then I'm using a pair of titanium scissors. If you don't have a pair of these, you can get a pair of steel scissors, but that works perfect. Now when I put it in here, it should fit. Okay? The next thing I'm going to do is I am going to measure across the top of the door frame. Okay. I'm coming in from behind and I am actually marking, if you can see the pencil come through, see? Right here from edge to edge. And then I'm going to cut that the same exact way. Now to make this easier for install, you can take this, the measurement that it is, right here, and then mark it straight across, and then that's where you want to trim the pieces that you cut first. And the reason for this is it helps hold it up there a little bit better. Alright, next step is you want to put some glue on the top piece, and you also want to do the ends with a little bit of glue. And I just use a little stick and I kind of just put a tiny dab of glue. Alright, now you're going to press it up there, but make sure it's even to where you can put a piece of wood across the top just like that, and it doesn't overlap to where your wood's hanging out. Alright, now you're going to take your other piece and you're going to do the same thing by gluing it in to the edge. Make sure you're even with the edge so that it's not sticking out anywhere. Has to be flush completely all the way down. Alright, now you may have to clip this if you can't get yours to stay in place. I wouldn't recommend taping it if you have wallpaper because the tape may pull your wallpaper off. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side and then I'll show you the rest. Alright, so that's what the inside of the door jamb is going to look like. Now make sure that you don't have any glue sticking out anywhere on your wallpaper. Alright, now to determine the height for the molding, you're going to do the same exact thing we did in the beginning, only on the exterior. And you're going to mark right underneath of here, so that way when the molding's on there, it goes over and covers it. Alright, so here's what I did is I went ahead and cut two, and they measure right there. Now, when you do this, you are going to actually make sure that the edge of this meets with the edge of that so that it feels like it's one piece of wood going across. Okay, so it needs to be in front of it, and then you'll push it back even with this area. You definitely want this to be flat with that. Alright, now this you really can't see, but I'm trying to set it back up again. Now there's two ways you can do this part. You can measure your longer pieces to go to the height of the top and cut a shorter middle piece, or you can cut a longer top piece. What you need to do is on the right side of this board, mark it there and cut it even with the length of that board so it looks like it's one piece of board. Alright, now once you get it done, you're going to make sure this side's flush and that side's flush. And then you're going to put the piece on top and glue it. Now if you want to add the rosettes like I did on this door, then you want to make these go up to the top so that you don't see the line where the rosette is. However, if you're doing it across like this, it's not a big deal because you're not going to see it. And that's going to be kind of like what that door is going to be like. Alright, now you want to get some clips and clip it until it dries. And then once it's dry, if you do decide you want to add the little rosettes, there's the whole tutorial on how to make these. And I know they're not exactly how a house rosette would be, but it kind of gives you the replica a little bit. Right, now if you want to add the rosettes, you take them when they're pre-cut, put some glue on the back of them, and then put them up in the corners. Now, like I said before, if you're going to do the rosettes, you really need to take the bottom board all the way up to the top and then do it. That way you don't see the seam. Just glue them on there. Now, you may want to paint your molding before you put it in here. I didn't do it because I was in a hurry, and now it's going to cost me because I'm going to have to squeeze in this little space to paint it. And then the center of the rosettes, you might want to paint them if you don't want to see the brown. It's up to you. The brown gives a little bit more contrast so you can actually see the circles in a tight space as opposed to being white and far away. Like if you look at the door and then you look at that one we just did, it actually shows it a little bit more. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and do the other side, and thanks for watching, and follow Dollhouse Miniature Madness and tutorials for more DIY.